Big news, JoJo's fans. Did we do it? Today, we're gonna go over a news that came out from the official Netflix anime account across all regions. They're all posting this news, and there's a lot of different reactions from obviously the community online. A lot of people with different takes and just different perspectives on exactly what led to this situation. Thank you for all the incredible support for Steel Ball Run, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The series is currently in production and will be available for everyone to enjoy. We are planning a split core release across the entire run of episodes. Big point here. Remember, the whole problem with this shit is what? Them not giving a clear-cut schedule on what's happening. People are traumatized with Stone Ocean's batch release and Netflix's overall inclination for batch release, and they're like, what the fuck is going on? Second stage stuff got announced at Japan Anime, and they announced that sometime in 2026, second stage will release, and at that point, we were wondering, was my prediction correct with batch releases being stage race releases, right? And a lot of people have been fucking molding, just screaming. A lot of people have been just brigading with so many of the same Devil Johnny memes over and over again to try to get a response. Thank you, Vork, for the 10 months. Thank you, thank you. The next core, second stage, will begin streaming in fall 2026 on Netflix, with one new episode released each week. So, you guys gotta be very careful with the wording here. I think a lot of people are getting caught up in reading comprehension and kind of celebrating a little bit ahead early. Let's read the whole paragraph, but there's a very intentional wording here and how this also lines up with that leak, remember, of all the different little part releases that we're gonna do. Because split core doesn't really mean, oh, you're gonna have 12 episode core 1 and then 12 episode core 2, like what we see traditionally with anime. This still qualifies for 9 episodes here, 3 episodes there, 11 episodes there, you know? It's like, and the whole episode release each week, again, until when? What is exactly it? When you specifically say the next core is second stage, specifically, right? They're not saying that this is, again, the traditional core 1. You're saying next core is just second stage. Doesn't that logically mean that the spoilers with, you know, where was it? Do I have the leaks here? Let me bring it up. There's very intentional like wording. I need you guys to understand. Is it in the Discord? Hold on, let's see. Right, here it is. Thank you for the link. This still kind of qualifies. It's not certain. It's not, but like, it's still like possible. So don't like get too happy about this. This release schedule is part of our original plan and reflects the wishes of the production committee. Okay, this part is even funnier though. So beyond that, this is the part that I really honed in on my tweet, okay? Your passion and enthusiasm means a great deal to everyone involved in the preparation. We appreciate your patience and continued support as we work to bring you the second stage, which is again, the second race, which is again, not this overall half season core of a 24 episode season, if it was indeed 24 episode core 1, core 2, as we traditionally have in anime, okay? So they just take it with that. Of course, what do I have to say? This release schedule is part of our original plan and reflects the wishes of the production committee. If you guys haven't been keeping up with all the drama online, basically again what's been happening is after the first stage drop, they announced nothing other than, hey, we want to watch more too. That's what the director said, but it's just like, okay, I guess Netflix wants to do some weird batch release. And basically what's been happening then is shit like this. I don't know, guys. There's been analog horror, fucking Johnny Gyro, just Steel Ball, just overall JoJo's memes happening, and it's just been, if you've been online, right, you've probably seen this image just be spammed over and over again. And yeah, thank you for all the incredible support. Said support of mention, right? Where else is it? The incredible support, analog horror. What is this? This shit reminds me of a series called Angel Engine that I've been actually kind of watching here and there on TikTok. It's about like it's crazy. Anyways, looks like it's kind of like art style reminds me of that. It's just terrifying shit, like hieroglyphics coming out. Where else is there? Where's the support? Oh yeah, this is another one too, right? This is how it kind of sounds, doesn't it? does it not just kind of sound like they are aware of the community resentment and now they're trying to obviously not acknowledge that, but at the same time kind of paint a narrative that like, thank you for the support. We hear you. We are going to do what you guys want us to do. And I know you guys love us. And this is all great. Yeah. And by the way, from the beginning, we definitely, you know, planned on doing weekly releases no matter what. And the opinion that is the positive opinion that everyone wants us to do, which is the weekly release, is exactly what the production committee wanted to do from the beginning. But it's like, if it was, why would you not just say that in the fucking immediate trailers? Do you believe this shit? Right? So there's a lot of this tweet, this statement comes out. There's a lot of things to kind of wonder. First of all, was there actual like significance in the community support, which is just brigading, community just like fucking brigading, right? Of demanding. Does it make sense? Do you guys think that Netflix would just fold, right? Surely they didn't just fold over to the reaction of the community and plan weekly releases instead of batch from the beginning. I don't know. At the end of the day, you'll never really know. But it would reasonably make sense that the amount of movement that's been happening, like JoJo's is no joke. The amount of brigading in the community, fucking unemployed behavior that's been happening is crazy. Like internationally. So it's not that far off to assume that maybe that has an impact on it. But regarding this overall production schedule, do you really think they would have just snapped like that? Just over a couple of weeks? Like the logic I'm presenting here is it takes a lot of time to, you know, make these animes. And of course, Davis staff and the director specifically said schedule's pretty healthy and we want to watch more episodes too. We just don't know when it's going to happen. So a lot of people have been kind of condemning Netflix rather than the anime studio that made the anime. They've been condemning Netflix and the corporate suits behind the production committee of the distribution issue. What the fuck is going on? The episodes are clearly seemingly ready, yet you're not distributing it. But now if they're announcing this kind of stuff in different change in format, it's really kind of either way. I think a lot of people think that like they actually did something, right? If you look at statements like this, right? Never say bullying major corporations from holding a series hostage doesn't work. We don't know. It kind of feels nice, right? To kind of believe that, hey, we did it. Our memes actually fucking made change. Who knows at the end of the day, right? But then it's just more support stuff like that then. And then another really interesting POV is something like this. So Mother's Basement comes in with, I really hope they're not bullshitting and they haven't totally reworked the production schedule at the last minute just to meet the fan demands. Now this is pretty unlikely, but a very interesting hypothetical that I didn't think about. Mother's Basement always has such a unique opinion. Basically the idea is Netflix is folding over backwards to deliver this weekly schedule. And by doing so, they're sacrificing the quality of said episodes because they're caving into the community pressure. Now, I don't think that's what's going on. That would be crazy. Because first of all, obviously we have to acknowledge that this could still happen, right? And if this is still happening, the production schedule's all fucked. I think Mother's Basement's tweet makes sense to me. If we assume that this, again, these are again, split cores of different stages, right? That this honestly looks like a healthy schedule. As in, there's enough time to actually deliver episodes in quality. But if it's the way that most people read it, as in, hey, we're getting 12 episode core 1, 12 episode, you know, core 2, then I think what he's saying makes sense of, oh shit, quality is being sacrificed for these weekly distributions. And, you know, he's got a follow-up. Okay, looks like this release timeline was leaked a couple months ago, so either they've been planning to do this all along, or at most they've changed from a batch release to weekly. Again, that's it. The entire situation is so fucking stupid and could have been avoided if there have just been told everyone the series will premiere as a 45-minute premiere on a short film and then will begin airing weekly in the fall. That's literally all they had to do when they had to announce production. And this is such a question of like, why did they do this? Why did they fuck around and make people so mad? Do you think that this is a big brain marketing ploy? So the idea here is Netflix is on 5-dimensional chess. They intentionally did this to make people upset, to create a witch hunt and overall just riots because this makes Steel Ball Run more talked about online. With the intention of, again, never even changing the distribution from the beginning. Like, they had it in mind, they just decided not to tell you. Just to piss people off. Maybe? I mean, it got a lot of people engaged. They're playing the villain, right? So the brand is playing heel. The brand is playing villain in order for what? Them to, like, blow up more? I don't know. It's kind of a ridiculous assumption to be making, but not. Who knows? maybe that's the case. And overall, and this is just like more, you know, just JoJo's like Netflix fucking memes that's going on. A lot of people just kind of just popping off with this shit. I told you guys that I predicted this, right? I told you guys that I was the Netflix marketing lead. You guys might be surprised, but if we do a search here from Kaka TV, right? And I do Netflix from, hold up. If I do this, why is it not working? Why does this shit not fucking work for me always? No, I gotta do it like this. Ah, Netflix. Right? What did I say here? I work for the Netflix marketing team. You're welcome for the leaks. And what am I talking about here? I predicted this shit. I'm a genius. I'm not. It's honestly not that hard to predict. The whole logic is like, bro, they did a stage release for the first episode. So what's the likelihood that they're gonna do stage releases for the next episodes? Shit, if it happened once, you know, I think that it could make sense. So I don't want my prediction to be true. I don't want this godforsaken fucking, what is this, bro? Like March 2028, the gap between March 2026 to September 2026 isn't that crazy. But the gap between this shit, September to June 2027, what the fuck? Do you understand how crazy of a gap there is between stage 2 and stage 3? If you're gonna call it stage 3, I know there's like more than like, you know, like 5 stages here, right? Because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, drops here. There's more than that. But that's fucking crazy, right? June to October 2027 is not too crazy. October to May 2028, it's not too bad. But that gap here, this gap between next stage and the stage after that, people are not gonna be able to wait for that shit. I mean, they will, but I hope that's not the case. I hope I'm not, you know, the oracle of this, but that's what's going on. So you guys tell me, are we winning? I mean, we're getting weekly releases, but just for a bit, and then it gets kind of scattered across. It is what it is. Let me know what you guys think.